Well, it's time yet again for the Academy Awards ceremony, and when the nominations were announced, I was initially unsure what would win in several categories. It seemed like a lot of them were up in the air. However, as more precursor awards present their picks, things are starting to become clear. There are some places for potential surprises, though. Let's start with the shorts, which are often where we see toss-ups. I do think the name recognition of Riz Ahmed will help The Long Goodbye win Best Live Action Short. Best Animated Short could go to any of the films nominated, but I'm going with Aardman's holiday special, Robin Robin. Best Documentary Short also has a number of potential candidates, with topics that include school bullying, homelessness, and Louisa Harris, one of the few female basketball players drafted by the NBA. Any of the 5 nominees have a chance, but I'm predicting Audible, which centers on a team of deaf football players. Best Documentary Feature is the category where 3-time nominee Flea has the best chance of winning. However, Summer of Soul is proving to be strong competition. I initially predicted Flea as I thought voters would decide to honor it in this category, and yet Summer of Soul has been sweeping many of the documentary awards, including at the BAFTAs and the Editors Guild, so I'm expecting its streak to continue at the Oscars. Moving on to several of the crafts categories, Dune has a strong chance of taking many of these, although I won't discount the possibility of something else triumphing in a few places. Best Film Editing is one such case, as the tennis matches of King Richard or the musical set pieces of Tick Tick Boom could give those films an edge. The Power of the Dog also has a chance, but I'm sticking with the spectacle of Dune. This is definitely one of the most exciting categories, though. The grand scale of Dune could also lead to a win for Best Cinematography. With that said, this is another place where The Power of the Dog could win, thanks to the beautiful vistas of New Zealand portraying Montana. But I'm predicting Dune here too. Dune is also up for Best Costume Design, where it could win for dressing the warring families and the Fremen of Arrakis. We also have the colorful dresses of West Side Story, the 17th century French clothes in Cyrano, and the carnival workers of Nightmare Alley. I think the depiction of the punk rock fashion movement in Cruella will give that film an edge in this category, though, something sure to please that lover of Dalmatian fur. For Best Production Design, this feels like an easy win for Dune, for the way it brought Frank Herbert's planets to life, although I would not discount Nightmare Alley. The most surefire category is Best Visual Effects, which will absolutely go to the sandworms of Dune. Regarding Best Sound, this seems like another place for Dune to win. However, I can't help but remember how well musicals or music-driven films like West Side Story do in that category. Previous Best Sound winners during the 21st century have included Chicago, Ray, Dreamgirls, Les Miserables, Whiplash, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Sound of Metal. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a risk and predict West Side Story for Best Sound. Best Original Song looks to be a race between 2 high-profile and rising talents. Lin-Manuel Miranda could win for Dos Orejitas from Encanto, thus completing his EGOT. Although I cannot help but think he would have an easier time if the chart-topping earworm We Don't Talk About Bruno had been submitted by Disney instead. So I'm predicting Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell will win for that James Bond theme from No Time to Die. The Academy voters have warmed up to 007 songs lately, people have had 2 years to decide whether they like the song or not, and Eilish seems like she's been everywhere and is only continuing to grow in popularity. In Best Original Score, Hans Zimmer is looking like the frontrunner for his music in Dune, which would surprisingly be only his 2nd Oscar after The Lion King. Best Makeup is an interesting category, with any of the nominees posing a shot. There are the different stylings of the futuristic people in Dune. House of Gucci made Jared Leto completely unrecognizable as an Italian fashion designer, with the other members of this scandalous family sporting various looks. Cruella put Emma Stone under various wigs and wild looks to transform her into the iconic Disney villain, and the Coming to America sequel once again allowed Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall to play multiple characters. In the end, I'm going to say The Eyes of Tammy Faye will win for depicting the infamous televangelist over the years. But like I said, you can make a case for any of these. You'll be surprised if anything but the Japanese film Drive My Car wins Best International Feature Film, since it's also up for Best Picture. As for Best Animated Feature, The Mitchells vs. the Machines certainly has a lot of fans, even sweeping the Annie Awards. However, I'm predicting Encanto to win here, taking advantage of the momentum gained when it was added to Disney+. The screenplay categories are pretty tough this year. Best Adapted Screenplay looks like a 4-way race at this point. The Power of the Dog is a strong possibility, as is The Lost Daughter. I can also see the Drive My Car fans within the Academy helping it win here. As the crowd pleaser of the bunch, I think Coda will win, as it does appear to be picking up steam at recent award shows, and this would be a place to honor it. Best Original Screenplay is between 2 longtime nominees who have yet to win. Kenneth Branagh has been nominated 8 times, dating back to his 2 nods for Henry V. He's a widely respected actor and filmmaker, and this category is where I think Belfast has the best chance of not walking home empty-handed. Meanwhile, Paul Thomas Anderson has 11 nominations to his name, and is similarly highly regarded. Original screenplay has often been used to reward revered auteur directors, with previous winners including Spike Jonze, Quentin Tarantino, Sofia Coppola, Pedro Almodovar, and Cameron Crowe. It's a real toughie, but I'm going to predict Anderson finally wins his first Oscar for writing Licorice Pizza. Ariana DeBose has emerged as the obvious frontrunner for playing Anita in West Side Story. Rita Moreno previously won for this same role in the 1961 adaptation, which could make Anita one of the rare double Oscar-winning roles, joining the Joker and Don Vito Corleone. For a while, Best Supporting Actor looked like it would go to Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog, with Kieran Hines as a potential spoiler for Belfast. Troy Kotsur then emerged as the frontrunner for Coda, so it's looking likely he will win come Oscar night. Will Smith has also become the favorite to win Best Actor for playing Venus and Serena Williams' father in King Richard. Best Actress is where anything goes. I initially thought this would go to Nicole Kidman for portraying Lucille Ball in Being the Ricardos. It seemed like the kind of performance often favored by Academy voters. However, Olivia Colman could pull it off for The Lost Daughter, and I would not discount Penelope Cruz pulling off a surprise for Parallel Mothers. I think the lack of an obvious frontrunner will work in Jessica Chastain's favor for a transformative performance in the eyes of Tammy Faye. Best Director seems like it's been Jane Campion's to lose for The Power of the Dog since the film premiered. She also won the Directors Guild Award, which further increases her incredibly likely chances. Best Picture is an interesting one. The Power of the Dog makes sense, although Belfast could also pull it off if it manages to win for Original Screenplay. Coda has shown a lot of support at industry awards, although it would have to overcome not being nominated for both director and editing. I'm going to play it safe and predict The Power of the Dog. That's right, I'm only predicting it to win 2 Oscars, including the big one. We'll see if I'm right very soon. See you next time.